9:25 in the morning. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful autumn morning here in Cleveland. And this is why I moved back to Ohio. I tell you, I grew up here, was born and raised here, and then I moved to Arizona. It was a dream of mine to move to Arizona, and while we lived out there for about 10 years, and while I lived out there, I missed autumn and winter, and I missed the rain so much. I never thought I would. I cursed the day I was born in Cleveland when I left. I was like, oh, I've got to get the hell out of this godforsaken shithole of a town, and please God, don't let me die in Cleveland. That was kind of the thing I said a lot. Don't let me die in this awful place. And I moved away, and the first 2 years in Arizona, I was in heaven. But then all of a sudden, it wasn't all of a sudden, it was gradual. I gradually became extremely sick of it. And I would wake up in the morning wishing for rain, praying for clouds. Autumn was terrible. Autumn was the worst, because here in autumn, it's Halloween, and the air there's a crispness in the air. There's a certain sweet, spicy, sweet smell from all the leaves changing and falling to the ground. There's a whole beautiful aspect to it here. So I'm very glad to be back here now and living in this beautiful state of Ohio. It's just an amazing place. So I am going to be I've said this before, but I'm going to try to start a live stream and make it at the same time of the week, like every Wednesday at 8 a.m. or something. I don't know, but I thought I'd ask each of you when to have this live streams, because I have a few of you who do watch my live streams, and I've recently set up, I've got some equipment I haven't used in a long time, but I've recently reattached it and I forgot how to use it. It was this Blackmagic ATM Mini Pro ISO. It's a video switcher where I can show you video screens. I can show you my computer screen, and I can show you my camera and everything. And I've set it up it's just a corner of the room where I work out of my studio. And I'm gonna not just be in my car, because being in my car, I can't talk to all of you. Don't back up, dude. He can't see that I'm just gonna back up with a bunch of 2x4s sticking out of the back of my pickup truck. Yeah, because I'm from Ohio. Now, I didn't say I like all the people from Ohio, but I like the state. Oh Lord. So I've got this area set up where I'm going to dedicate it to live streaming, is what I'm saying. It's going to have this one camera and my computer, my laptop. And I figure I can take questions and show you new things that I'm working on. Yeah, there's one side of the road you need to be on there, mister, where you might want to stop texting and driving. You should see the morons that drive around this state. Oh my God. The drivers, as I've said in Arizona, were terrible, but they knew where they were going, and they were hell-bent on getting there. Drivers here are dumb as a bag of potatoes. I'm gonna text and drive everywhere. Oh, I gotta text my girlfriend while I'm driving. Don't mind if I kill myself and other people, as long as she gets a text about a picture of my wee-wee. So I figured, what's the best time to do this? Because I don't know. Because a lot of the people who I speak with, most of the people I speak with on here, on my live feeds, are from the United Kingdom. You're all from Britain somewhere. And y'all are 5 hours ahead of me. So right now, what is it? It's 9 o'clock in the morning here. It's 10, 11, 12, 1. It's 2 o'clock there. And I don't know if people are working. If I do a live feed at 7 o'clock at night, it's midnight in the UK, no one's gonna watch. So while I can't talk to you all on here while I'm driving, leave a comment and let me know what would be the most convenient time for you guys, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself, and then it gets recorded and then it gets uploaded to the YouTube system, and then you can watch it later, which is fine. But I do the live stream so I can interact with people, and I always have some good interactions on here. I seem to get the most people like at this time of the morning, between like 7 and 10 Eastern Standard Time. But I could be wrong, who knows? I am just headed to the park to go for a walk. And this is another reason why I love autumn, especially as an adult. Because that's when all the lovely little bastards are back in school and they're not invading every park system with their mothers in the baby carriages, and they're screaming and running around the park like little banshees. I can stand that, but it ruins the experience of being out in nature. And it doesn't matter what park you go to. You can go to any park here in Northeast, probably anywhere in the United States during the summer, and every mother and their simp type husbands are meandering through the parks with their baby carriage and their dog and one kid in like a backpack strapped to their chest or their back, and the kids are like, it's like, oh my God, please save me from this hell. That's one reason I don't like to travel, like go to tourist areas and, you know, I'll give an example. There was a place I went to, we went to Colorado, and there was a park called, what was it called? It was called like the Garden of the Gods or something. It was near Denver. And it was this big park with all these big giant red rock formations. And it was just an absolute tourist trap. Just thousands of people crawling all over these red rocks, of all ages, of all walks of life, and all nationalities. Because all the Europeans, I think most people like in the UK get like a month off at a time, like they get 4 weeks off. And what do? They hop on a jet and they come to the United States, and they infiltrate everything, the cruise ships, and they infiltrate all of our parks, national parks and stuff. And it was just Europeans all over the place. Hey, look at the red rocks, I'm in America, I'm on the red rocks, whoa. And I know this for a fact because I once went to Monument Valley in Utah, and everybody else, they put you on a bus, or they put you in a van or something, or it was some type of transport, I don't remember now. And I was sitting next to a guy and his wife, and they were from Germany, and the guys behind us were like from Spain, and everybody was from another country. They weren't from the United States. They're very nice people, nothing against Europeans, but they infiltrate the country, like, you know, looking at the red rocks of Sedona or of Colorado is like the second coming of Christ. Like, they've never seen this before, and they're like, oh my God. And they're just annoying, and they get in your way, and they ruin every photographic shot. So that's what it's like here in the metro parks. There's no Europeans here. Well, there are. Oh Jesus, is this guy gonna hit me from behind? Maybe I better not stop at the stop sign then. Here, I'm sorry, sir, if I happen to be going the speed limit and you've got to go downtown and get some crack. But they infiltrate the parks, these little kids and their moms, and it drives me crazy. And this time of the year, all the little cherubs, the lovely little cherubs, are in school. They're sequestered to a desk with a nasty teacher, and they're being tormented learning their arithmetic, their gazintus. 2 goes into 4 2 times. And that's why I like going to this park now, because it's crisp out, it's cold out. And I'm sure there's always a few people still dragging their kids through the park because, you know, mom doesn't get no exercise unless she gets to take the kids with her somewhere, and she's worried about her big ass after she got prego by some guy that hit the road after he realized intercourse was more than just for fun. So I am going to the park to enjoy the crisp autumn morning air, and then I'm heading back home to work on some videos. I'm working on one today. I have a folder of comments that people have left me on my channel here, and I'm going to make a video about that when I get home, because some of you leave some very interesting comments, and if I don't document them, if I don't do screenshots of the comments, I'll completely forget about them. Many of you have written to me. Good Lord, those two guys went right through the red light at like 50 miles an hour. Welcome to America, where people all seem to have a death wish. And I'm gonna work on that today, but let me know what you think is the best time. If any of you are watching, I think I've only got a couple people watching this morning. But it's not about me. I don't do this channel just for me. Well, that's kind of a lie. I can't just talk about call centers all day long. There's not that much to say. You know, I think I've drained the weasel over it. You know, it's like, how much is left? I can come up with more stuff, but I'm trying to do some other commentary videos and things like that. And in some ways, it's got to be entertaining for me. Otherwise, it's just another grind. It's just another job that I've got to get up and do every day. And I didn't want this to be that. This channel wasn't supposed to be a business when I first started. It was just for fun. And that's something you'll learn. It doesn't matter what you do. Everything ends up becoming a grind. Especially in the arts. If you want to be an artist and make money at it, you could be constantly working. YouTube could be a 24/7, 365 days a year job, where you're constantly putting up videos and commentary and stuff. If I could put up a video, at least one every day. But there's other things I want to do, you know. But I have thought of maybe just for the next year, like for maybe the remaining part of this year and a year from now, like say we go into September of 26, maybe I'll release a video, 1 to 2 videos every single day, because the algorithm likes your channel if you're constantly putting out content. And this isn't just YouTube, this is all the other platforms. If you're on OnlyFans, if you're doing adult content, it doesn't matter if you're doing vanilla, straight content, or you're doing adult content, or whatever it happens to be. If you're doing a podcast, they'll push your stuff more to the top of the video list if you're constantly putting out videos. So if you're putting out one a day, one production a day, one live stream a day, and one short, you're going to get far more views than if you're just putting out a couple a week. And I found that out here on YouTube, because when I went in for my surgery, I was just really exhausted for about 3 weeks after the surgery, and I would just get really tired after just going for like a quarter-mile walk in my neighborhood. I'd come home and I'd sleep for 2 hours, and I just didn't have the energy to put up any content. So I let my channel go for about about a month to 6 weeks. It really didn't pay much attention to it, and I watched my monetization drop by like 50%. Views dropped. My views are way down. I usually get like 25,000 views a month, and they've dropped down to like 10,000, something crazy. So this is one of my primary sources of income, such as it is. So I'm back to trying to make more content. So I'm going to do these live streams. I'm trying to dedicate it to, this is one reason I want to go into business for myself, so I didn't have to be sequestered to one particular schedule. But I'm finding consistency on this platform really does work if you're consistently, like the TV show, publishing material at the same time every day, and people are watching, then it helps you out a great deal. So we're almost to the park here. Let's see if there's any lovely little cherubs down here today, because it is 58 degrees outside, and it's usually too cold. Well, not too cold for the bicyclists. The bicyclists are annoying too. I'm not a big fan. It's mostly grown men and women that ride their bikes around the parks around here. It's not sweet young things in tight, jogging pants. It's old men in tight jogging pants that are bitter and angry, and they hate the world, and they hate the fact that they've got a fupa, and they're trying to get rid of it, and they're going to ride and run you over on the bike paths around here. The younger people are a little bit more hip to the rules of the road, if you will. They're more like, oh, maybe I better let somebody know I'm driving up behind them. The old people just run right over the top of you. And these are probably people my age, Gen Xers, and I guess millennials and boomers. The boomers, most of them are probably too old to be riding bikes. Maybe not too old, but they're pushing 75, 80 years old by now. I've got three boomers in my family, older than me. I've got a brother that's going to be 75, sister that's going to be 73. I think my other brother's, what is he going to be? 60, 68? Or he just turned 60, 68, I think. So I'm the baby, and I don't think I could be wrong. I haven't seen my oldest brother. I haven't seen him or spoken to him in like 40 years. So he could be riding bicycles all over God's creation. I don't know. I doubt it, but he could be. Isn't this beautiful? I don't know if you can see this, but we have the most beautiful park system here. Just an absolutely amazing park system. And it's funny, out in Arizona, all the parks were man-made, except for, like, if you go to the big national parks like Grand Canyon or Sedona and all that stuff. But a lot of the parks in our town where we live were man-made. Somebody had gone through with a bulldozer and bulldozed a bunch of cacti under and put in a walking path. And it was so depressing because it wasn't real. It was just totally manufactured junk. Well, there's still a lot of people here. Everybody's still grasping on to the last vestiges of summer. So park out here. And, darling, we better go to the park. Oh, we can still enjoy the beautiful autumn weather and bring our lovely little cherubs here. But I thank all of you for watching my live streams. I mean, some of you do tune in. And I appreciate the input and the viewership. I appreciate all of you who have been kind and generous on this channel. I get the few people that say obnoxious things, but that's what the internet is. The internet is, it's just like people in the call centers that call in and say nasty stuff in the call centers. They get phone balls. And they can say anything they think they can say anything they want to, because there's a phone line, 1,000 miles of phone line between them and you in the call center. So they think they can call you a pickle sucker and say your mother smells of elderberries, just because you don't give them credit for some ridiculous thing that they did on their account. So you get that on here. And you never know. You never know if these people are real, if they're bots. You don't know if they're kids or adults. But 99.9% of everybody in here have been really, really friendly and nice, and I found a genuine community in here of people that I can relate with. And I'd like to just make sure we stream at a time when it's convenient for you. So just leave me a message and let me know what, maybe we'll take a vote. Maybe I should put a poll. When I end the live feed here, I'll create a poll with the different days of the week and the times of the day. I'll just put like, Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. I don't know what time zone England is in. I don't know time zones outside the US. There's a European time zone, I don't know. I guess they should make it my time zone, Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to leave a message there, or we'll do a little vote and find out. My problem is being consistent, and I'm not consistent on here, and I'm constantly I get apathetic and don't want to make videos, and I don't feel like sitting in my office and coming up with all these ideas and try to, because I just did a video, an interview with this awesome guy, Andrew Freeman, one of the owners of Immortal Masks, that makes these tremendous silicone masks. And they're in Hollywood, California. They're in Van Nuys actually, but they're like 10 minutes from Hollywood. And I thought our interview went great. It was about an hour long. And it took me a couple days of work to do that video. First I had to do a bunch of research on his company. And I had to find out when it was created and come up with a list of questions. I used ChatGPT to help me with some of the questions. Some of them I improvised. So I did about 8 hours of work before the interview. The interview took about an hour and 10 minutes. Then post, I had to edit it. It took me about 10 hours to edit it because I was adding in video clips of this gentleman on YouTube sculpting masks and working in his studio. And I'm always leery of people that are walking around here. And so there's 8, 10, 18 hours, and then I had to upload it, and then I had to take the audio. I wanted to mix down just the audio for the podcast on Buzzsprout. So that took some time to edit that down. So I think when it was all said and done, I took about 30 hours for one interview to get it up on YouTube. And for all that work, I've gotten maybe 100 views. And my wife watching, she's like, it's too long. It's too long, Pete. No one's going to watch this. It's too long. And I'm like, okay. So she went through it, and she marked down time signatures and subjects, and she said, edit this out, edit this out. And she's really good with that because she's younger than me. She's 7 years younger than me. And she's kind of closer to the younger group than I am. And I think she knows. And I know, but I thought it was a good interview, and I figure we'll just keep all this stuff in there. But she's probably right. I mean, she's not probably, she is right. So now I'm going to spend another probably couple hours going back into the video and editing out big parts of it and then republish it in a shorter format. Though I probably should have had her watch it before I publish it, because then I'm going to republish it. But my point is, there's a lot of work that goes into these videos. Not all of them. I'm like this one, all I do is set up the phone and come up with a topic and a thumbnail. And the thumbnail's not easy because I create the thumbnail, I save it to my photos here on my iPhone, and then I go to upload it to YouTube, and it doesn't want to select that thumbnail. The thumbnail doesn't exist. I don't know if anybody's run into that on YouTube. But so it's a lot of work, and sometimes the work doesn't pay off. Sometimes I just spitball it, and if I do a video about call centers, because that's what the algorithm knows I'm popular for, I automatically get, like the first day I'll get 200 views, which is good for me. But I usually end up with like 1,000 views these days on one video if I do call centers. But I keep saying I'm running out of topics. I come up with new stuff here and there, but I don't really want to be known as a call center dude. I mean, I think my next thing to do with this whole call center thing is to write a book about my experiences. Because I'll be damned. I can't find anybody that wants to be in this documentary. Nobody. I know people that have worked in call centers like, I don't really think so. And that's what I'm finding. Most people, when you ask them to be in a documentary, they're like, sure, that sounds like a great idea, until they find out I've got to spend hours and hours with them, sitting down and asking them questions and recording it, videotaping it, getting the whole thing together, and then I end up being a pain in their ass, and they don't want to deal with it. It just takes too much of their time. Most people are not as self-indulgent as myself. Most people are not as egotistical as myself, where I want to be on camera and I'm constantly trying to put myself out there. Most people don't want that kind of exposure, so they don't want to be in documentaries. So if there's a time of the day, doesn't matter who you are, where you are, just send me a message on this. Don't send me a message in my email, because it'll get lost. Just send me a comment on here. I'll create a poll on here, and let me know what you think. I like to do the live streaming because I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. I'm going someplace I need to go. I'm creating a video, and I'm keeping the algorithm happy. I'm feeding the algorithm. All right, guys, I'm going to take it off for unlimited talk text. Unlimited talk text from the horrible radio stations here in Cleveland. All right, have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Hasta